Beloved chosen one. Pause. Heaven has halted your timeline for a reason. There is something happening in your eyes, something the ordinary will never understand. The angels are whispering through the flicker of light, through the strange shimmer you've begun to see. Do not dismiss it. You are being awakened. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way light bends differently when you look at the world now. The sudden glare, the unexpected gleam in the corner of your vision, it is not random. The heavens are not subtle when they mark a soul for revelation. Your eyes, the windows of your spirit, are being tuned to a higher frequency. The shift is real. Listen carefully. You have prayed for signs, begged for confirmation, and cried out in silence for God to show you that you are not forgotten. And now, heaven answers through the mirror of your gaze. Angels have been stationed at the gates of your vision. Every blink is a message. Every glimmer is guidance. You are being trained to see as heaven sees. The old sight, the one that only recognized the surface, is fading. You are entering the realm of prophetic vision, where your eyes no longer just perceive what is visible, but discern what is spiritual. This is why things look off lately. This is why familiar faces feel foreign and ordinary moments carry sacred weight. Don't call yourself crazy. You are being consecrated. There's a reason the enemy has tried to blind you with distraction, exhaustion, and disbelief. Because he fears the moment you truly see, when the veil tears and your spiritual sight awakens, darkness loses its power to manipulate your perception. Every false friend, every hidden trap, every deceptive spirit is exposed by the light of your gaze. Do you remember the times you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back? That wasn't you fading, it was your old vision dying. The eyes that once saw limitation are being replaced with eyes of revelation. The glow you see is not vanity, it's verification. Angels are training your eyes to identify divine motion. When you see flickers of white or gold light, when you feel a pull to turn your head for no reason, when tears fall without warning, these are not coincidences. They are messages from the unseen realm. Heaven communicates with those who pay attention. The world around you will call it imagination. But those who mock what they don't understand will soon watch the fruit of your obedience. You have been chosen to carry light in your eyes. People will look into them and feel conviction. Others will look away because their darkness cannot stand your purity. But remember this. You are not here to please the crowd, you are here to awaken it. The time of dullness is over, the scales are falling off. The same God who opened the eyes of the blind is now opening your spiritual vision. You are stepping into a new era of discernment, and it begins with awareness. Feel that stirring behind your eyes, that warmth in your forehead, that sense that something divine is hovering near it is the confirmation you asked for. The shift is happening. Do not doubt what heaven is showing you. When the light flickers, whisper, "I see you." Lord, when your reflection feels alive, whisper, "I am listening." These words are keys, each one opens deeper understanding. Chosen one, you must guard this awakening. Protect your eyes from what corrupts. Avoid what drains your spirit. The light within you is too sacred to be dimmed by the world's pollution. You are not called to watch everything, you are called to see what matters. You may feel isolated in this awakening, but you are not alone. Countless others across the earth are experiencing the same transformation. Together you form a network of watchers, heaven's visionaries. And even now, angels rejoice because your sight is returning to its divine purpose. Lift your gaze. The same heavens that birthed stars have chosen your eyes as a mirror for their light. You are not seeing too much, you are finally seeing enough. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22, The eye is the lamp of the body, so if your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. This is your moment to respond. If this message resonates deep within you, if you know heaven is confirming something right now, do not scroll away. Like this message, share it so another chosen one may awaken, and subscribe to remain under this flow of revelation. Then in the comments, type 777 as a prophetic act that your spiritual eyes are opening. Let your agreement echo through heaven's corridors. Let the angels record your obedience. Each act of faith releases new clarity. The awakening begins when you choose to respond. Heaven sees you. The angels are watching, and your vision is about to change forever. You stand before the mirror again, chosen one. But this time something feels different. The reflection no longer just shows a face, it shows a story. The eyes staring back at you are not ordinary. They hold the echo of battles fought in silence, the shimmer of prayers whispered through tears, and the reflection of heaven's fire that refuses to go out. You have tried to avoid the mirror lately. You've sensed that looking too long makes something inside of you tremble. But do not be afraid of what you see. You are witnessing transformation in real time. The angels are standing beside you every time your eyes meet your reflection, revealing not vanity but revelation. The mirror is now a portal of awareness. It's not about your outward appearance. It's about the unveiling of your soul. When heaven begins to communicate through your eyes, the mirror becomes an altar. Each time you gaze into it, your spirit is confronted with truth. You see both the brokenness and the beauty, the wounds and the wisdom. You see the image of God resurfacing through the cracks. There was a time you couldn't see any light at all. You thought you were too scarred, too imperfect, too weary to be used by God. But the reflection now glows differently because grace has changed your eyes. That shimmer in your pupils isn't vanity, it's victory. Every scar you tried to hide now reflects redemption. Every tear has polished your vision. Do you notice how the light catches your gaze differently now? That is heaven's fingerprint. You are being shown what many ignore, that the mirror is not there to mock you, but to remind you. The reflection you see is not a reminder of your failures, it is the proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. Your angels are using the mirror to help you see what God sees. When you look and feel the sudden sense of peace or conviction, it is a divine conversation. The Spirit whispers through subtle impressions, revealing where you need to heal and what you need to release. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 34, verse 5. Those who look to him are radiant, their faces are never covered with shame. Some days you will see weariness in your eyes. Other days, you will see fire. Both are sacred. The weary eyes show that you have endured. The fiery ones remind you that you are still chosen. Heaven never demanded perfection, only awareness. Chosen one, you must learn to look long enough until your reflection speaks. It's not the glass that's alive, it's the spirit within you awakening. Every time you look away too soon, you miss a message. Stand still. Breathe. Gaze deeper. Let your eyes tell you what heaven has written. Do you remember when you once asked, "God, are you still with me?" The mirror is his answer. Every time you catch that mysterious glow, every time your own eyes seem unfamiliar, it is his reminder, I never left you. Your reflection carries evidence of divine fingerprints. Heaven's light bends around you because you carry a mark unseen by the world. You are set apart. When you finally accept that truth, you will realize that what you see is not ordinary light, but divine presence responding to your awareness. There is sacred geometry in your gaze, the alignment of purpose, the call of destiny, the reflection of eternity. What you see in the mirror is not just your image, it's heaven looking back. Do not rush this season. Every glance you take into your reflection is training. God is teaching you to see His glory even in your humanity. The longer you look with faith, the more your eyes will transform. You will begin to notice an inner light shining through, one that no shadow can dim. The world fears mirrors because they reveal truth. But you, chosen one, have been given courage to face it. When you stand before your reflection, you are not standing alone. You are standing with angels who record your obedience and witness your growth. And though sometimes your reflection will reveal the weight of your journey, let it also remind you of your divine resilience. You are being refined, not broken. Your eyes no longer reflect pain, they refract purpose. Every trial you've endured has polished the mirror of your soul. Lift your chin. Look again. The one staring back is no longer the same person who once doubted their worth. You have walked through fire, but your eyes still shine. You have cried oceans, yet they glimmer with hope. That is what heaven wanted you to see, the strength behind your own stare. Your angels have been waiting for this recognition. When you finally see yourself through heaven's lens, darkness loses its last weapon, self-deception. The enemy cannot blind those who know who they are. Remember this truth, chosen one. Your reflection is sacred territory. Guard it. Speak life into it. Let your eyes bear witness to your transformation every morning. Chosen one. Lately, the light feels different, doesn't it? You notice the way it flickers when you walk into certain rooms, the sudden brightness that seems to pulse even when no source is near. Sometimes it feels like the sun itself speaks to you through the warmth, through the glimmer, through the unseen rhythm that seems to follow your steps. It is not your imagination. The light is alive, and it is carrying messages meant only for you. Your angels have been whispering through illumination. When you awaken and feel that piercing brightness behind your eyelids, heaven is stirring your spirit, that sensitivity in your eyes. The one that appeared out of nowhere, it is not weakness. It is activation. Heaven is tuning your vision to notice divine frequencies others overlook. Every flash, every soft gleam is a word written in light. There are moments when the brightness feels overwhelming. You squint. You look away, but it lingers, glowing behind your closed lids as if demanding attention. The angels are calling you to focus, not flee. They are using light to remind you that your spiritual sensitivity is not a curse but a gift. Do not ignore what you feel. The sudden glow when you pray, the shimmer that outlines people when you speak life over them, the glow around your own reflection, these are not coincidences. These are signs of divine nearness. You see, when heaven increases its communication, light begins to reveal more than physical truth. It reveals emotional and spiritual conditions. That person who carries hidden darkness cannot hide it from your gaze. The energy around them will shift. The space that once felt ordinary now vibrates with presence. You are seeing through dimensions. Sometimes you wonder why your eyes tire easily, why tears come without sadness. It is because they are being cleansed for clarity. Heaven washes the lens through which you see the world. Your eyes, chosen one, are not simply biological, they are prophetic instruments. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. This is the reason for the light sensitivity. It is a call to awareness. When God begins revealing unsearchable things, He must first open the eyes of your understanding. Every flicker of light is heaven answering that call. You have asked for deeper revelation, for clarity in confusion, for purpose amidst pain. The answer does not always come as a voice, it comes as a shift in perception. That is why your surroundings seem brighter or your eyes ache when deception approaches. Heaven is warning you. When the light intensifies, do not hide behind darkness. Instead, ask, Lord, what are you showing me? You will be amazed how quickly clarity comes when you choose to listen rather than fear. In this season, angels are using illumination to train your discernment. They will make lights flicker when you speak doubt, reminding you that your words carry energy. They will brighten your space when you worship, confirming heaven's pleasure. Even your phone screen may glow unusually when you read truth. That too is communication. Chosen one, light is a language, and you are learning to read it. The heavens do not need human speech to communicate. They use creation itself. Remember how Moses encountered the burning bush. The flame was not random, it was revelation. You are encountering the same God, only now he speaks through subtler forms of fire. And this fire does not consume, it illuminates. It shows you who you are and exposes what must be released. When you notice that brightness pressing against your vision, don't run from it. Let it reveal what has been hidden. You are being refined. The discomfort is divine surgery. Every glare that catches your eye is heaven cutting through confusion, removing the scales of spiritual blindness. Soon, you will look at people and instantly discern truth from deception. You will enter spaces and feel whether peace or danger resides there. This is the reward of sensitivity. But beware, those who love darkness will misunderstand you. They will call you too intense, too sensitive, too strange. Smile. Chosen one. The same accusation was spoken against every prophet who saw too clearly. The light that blinds others is the same light that guides you. Let the world call it strange. Heaven calls it sight. When you walk through your day and the light seems to move with you, whisper gratitude. Angels are confirming alignment. When shadows retreat as you enter a place, rejoice quietly. Darkness always yields to divine radiance. Your eyes now carry the reflection of the eternal flame. This is why spiritual attacks have targeted your vision screens. Distractions, fatigue, endless noise. The enemy tries to dim your focus because he knows a chosen one who sees cannot be deceived. Guard your gaze, rest your eyes when needed, but never close them to truth. Beloved, light will soon obey you. When you speak blessings, rooms will brighten. When you pray, lamps may flicker as angels draw near. Heaven will mirror your inner fire in the outer world. You will no longer just witness light, you will become it. Now, before you move on, anchor this moment with a declaration. Type "I see clearly" below, not as a ritual, but as a prophetic act, a seal upon your awakening. When you declare those words, you agree with heaven's vision for you. You tell the angels, I am ready to perceive. Light responds to obedience. Speak it. Believe it, and watch how your world begins to shimmer with divine confirmation. You are not imagining it. Chosen one, the light is speaking and it's calling you by name. You've begun to notice it, the way colors seem to hum, to breathe, to shift around you. Shades that once appeared ordinary now seem alive with meaning. The blue of the morning sky feels deeper. The green of the trees almost glows. And even the gray of passing clouds carries hidden emotion. Chosen one, you are not imagining this. Your perception is transforming. Heaven is adjusting your inner frequency, allowing your eyes to interpret divine energy through color. Each color carries a message from the higher realm. When you see brilliant gold shimmering in your surroundings, It is not mere coincidence, it is heaven whispering of divine presence and favor. Gold means God is near. When you sense deep blue, it often signals revelation, truth, and protection. When crimson hues linger in your sight, angels are reminding you of power through sacrifice, the same power that covers your soul. There will be moments when you wake and everything feels unusually vivid. Your room glowing slightly warmer, sunlight carrying tones you've never seen before. These are moments of visitation. Angels use color to signal their nearness, to assure you that your prayers have reached heaven's throne. When you feel peace in those moments, stay still. Absorb it. That is divine energy bathing your vision. It may feel overwhelming at times, colors too bright, contrasts too strong. But do not fear. Your eyes are not malfunctioning, they are maturing. Heaven is fine-tuning your perception to operate beyond the visible spectrum. What scientists call light waves, heaven calls glory. You are seeing the invisible traces of divine movement. Some days the world may appear muted, as if the vibrancy has withdrawn. That too has meaning. Heaven does not abandon, it teaches through rhythm. When colors fade, it is often a call to stillness, a reminder to rest in faith rather than sight. Your perception ebbs and flows to balance your spiritual energy. Learn to trust both the brightness and the stillness. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 1, verse 20. Speak clearly. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made. Creation itself has always been the first scripture, the living text through which God whispers his mysteries. Every color is a verse, every hue a message of love or warning. When your eyes awaken, you begin to read the world as revelation. Think of the prophets who saw rainbows as signs, of Moses whose face shone with light after meeting God, of John who described heaven's throne surrounded by emerald hues. Each vision was wrapped in color, for heaven always reveals itself through radiance. Now you join that lineage of seeing ones. When you walk among crowds, pay attention. Sometimes a person's aura will seem tinted a faint glow around their form. The gentle blue surrounding one may speak of peace. A fiery orange may reveal passion or turmoil. Heaven shows you these glimpses not for judgment, but for compassion. It allows you to intercede with insight. Chosen one, your eyes are sacred instruments. Through them, God paints glimpses of his kingdom into your earthly awareness. Never take it lightly. When you marvel at beauty, you worship. When you discern through color, you minister. You are learning the language of light, one shade at a time. The enemy, knowing this, will attempt to distort perception surrounding you with artificial brightness, neon distraction, synthetic color that carries no spirit. Be wise. Guard your focus. Seek purity of light, natural, soft, alive. Heaven's light always carries peace. Hell's counterfeit produces restlessness. Learn the difference. Your angels are patient teachers. They will guide you gently. Sometimes you will feel a warmth or see a soft radiance hover at the edge of your vision. Do not panic. Acknowledge it in silence and let your spirit interpret. The understanding will come not from thought, but from knowing. As you continue to awaken, you will begin to understand that color itself is worship. Every sunrise is heaven exhaling praise. Every sunset a song of surrender. You are not separate from this symphony, you are part of it. Your sight was chosen to witness what most hearts ignore. And soon, you will no longer merely see color, you will feel it. Blue will calm your spirit in moments of anxiety. Gold will ignite faith when you feel small. Red will remind you that you are covered, protected, sealed. Each hue will minister to your soul like melody. Chosen one, do not rush this process. The expansion of your vision is sacred, and heaven celebrates every small awakening. The angels are painting your perception anew so that you may see creation not as chaos, but as coded love. Keep your eyes open, your heart soft, and your spirit ready. What once looked ordinary will soon glow with divine purpose. Every leaf, every shadow, every color you see is an invitation to deeper awareness. You are being taught to see as heaven sees, and that sight will change everything. There are tears you've cried that no one has seen. Chosen one. Quiet tears, the kind that fell not from sadness alone, but from something deeper, a trembling within your spirit. You didn't know it then, but every tear you've shed was sacred currency in heaven. They were not wasted, they were collected. The angels have gathered each drop and carried them before the throne as testimony of your endurance. You see, prophetic tears are not ordinary. They come when the soul is too full for words, when pain and purpose collide. They cleanse the vision and prepare the eyes for greater light. You've felt that sudden wave before, the kind that rises in prayer, or when you're overwhelmed by beauty or truth. That's heaven's touch reaching through emotion. When your eyes release water, your spirit releases weight. The tears you shed are baptisms for the moments your faith almost broke. They are silent songs that ascend higher than any spoken prayer. It is written in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. That promise isn't only for eternity, it begins now. Every tear you release in surrender invites resurrection. God transforms sorrow into vision, grief into guidance. Each tear becomes a lens polishing your sight until you begin to perceive divine truth where others only see despair. Do you remember those nights when you felt forgotten? When you cried quietly so no one could hear? The angels were closer than your breath then. They were catching what fell, recording the proof that you kept believing even when it hurt. Tears are heaven's ink, and you have written many chapters with them. Imagine your soul as a field after rainfall. When the storm breaks, the earth looks wounded, but in time, those same waters birth life. That is what your tears are doing right now. They are watering the seeds God planted in seasons of silence. Soon, something will bloom, something that could only grow in the soil of surrender. You are not weak because you weep. The strongest spirits cry the purest tears. Even Christ wept before miracles, showing that divine power does not deny emotion, it sanctifies it. So when the next wave comes, when your eyes well up for no reason, don't fight it. Don't hide it. Let it flow. The Spirit moves through honesty. Tears are truth in liquid form. They tell heaven, I still believe, even when I don't understand. Chosen one, your tears have built altars. They are not signs of defeat, but signals of transformation. Angels stand guard at the places where you've wept, marking them as holy ground. Perhaps you feel a pull to give, to pour out, to share light, to help others who walk through their own night. That's not coincidence. That's your spirit remembering how deeply heaven poured into you. The cycle of grace completes itself when you become a vessel of comfort for others. When you share a message, when you speak light into darkness, you are not performing, you are planting. Every word you spread is another seed of hope. Some souls will find healing through your voice, others through your story. And when they cry, your own tears will have made room for theirs. Think of this space, the channel you're watching, as a river of shared tears, collected faith, and divine encouragement. Every like, Every share, every subscription isn't just digital interaction, it's another drop of light flowing back into the stream that carries these messages forward. If you have ever been touched by these words, if they've reminded you that heaven still sees you, consider becoming part of the mission that keeps this river alive. Giving, whether through prayer, support, or donation, is how you pour living water into the hands of another chosen one who's still in their night. This is not pressure, it's partnership, a gentle invitation. Because when you support what heals, you help heaven reach further. You give wings to words that might just rescue someone on the edge of giving up. Just as rain returns to the sky only to fall again, what you pour out never truly leaves you. It multiplies. It circles back as favor, peace, and light. That's the divine law of reciprocity. Your tears have already proven your compassion. Let your actions now prove your commitment. Keep the flow alive. Let what touched you move through you. Remember, you are not just a receiver of light, you are a river of it. Every act of kindness, every moment of generosity, every click that carries hope forward adds another ripple to heaven's ocean. So let your tears teach you. Chosen one, cry when you must, give when you can. And know this truth: your heart is a vessel through which God waters the world. Heaven has seen every tear, and soon, those same eyes that wept in pain will shine in joy. The season of mourning is giving birth to miracles. Stay open, stay faithful, and let the river within you never run dry. There is something burning within your gaze. Chosen one. It's that intensity people sometimes mistake for pride or defiance. But it's neither. It's fire, holy fire, the kind that does not destroy but reveals. When you look at the world now, you see more than faces. You see spirits, motives, energies, and you've begun to recognize truth not by words but by vibration. This is no coincidence. Heaven has placed divine fire in your eyes so that you can discern what others overlook. You were never meant to blend in. Your sight is meant to confront darkness. When people feel uneasy under your stare, it's not because you are harsh, it's because the light within you exposes what pretends to hide. Darkness recognizes the flame before the person ever does. You've probably noticed how certain spaces feel heavier lately, how the atmosphere shifts when you enter. It's not your imagination. Light always provokes what hides in shadow. Your very presence announces change, and spirits that thrive in deceit tremble when your eyes rest upon them. Chosen one, you carry a gaze that heaven trusts. That fire is not random, it's assignment. When God marks a warrior, the flame becomes the weapon. Through it, you reveal, you discern, you awaken. But understand, this fire comes with weight. It purifies before it empowers. The burning in your eyes often feels like burden because revelation isn't comfortable. When you see what others can't, you must also carry what they won't. It is the price of clarity. Do not let that weight discourage you. Fire in your eyes means transformation in your life. You can no longer tolerate lies, nor pretend peace where none exists. This is evidence that your spirit is aligned with heaven's frequency. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 2. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. That same fire now burns in you. You are that bush lit but not consumed. The light in your eyes is proof that divine presence dwells within without destroying. It illuminates without devouring, because grace covers you even in glory. You've felt it, haven't you? The warmth that rises behind your eyes when you speak truth. The slight glow in photographs. The way people pause mid-sentence when you lock eyes with them. They sense something they cannot name. The spirit in them recognizes authority. You are not intimidating. You are illuminated. Do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. The world doesn't need more shadows. It needs more flames. Let your fire speak. When you meet someone lost in confusion, let your gaze carry peace. When you encounter deception, let your eyes carry exposure. This is how heaven moves through you, subtle yet unstoppable. At times, that fire will turn inward. It will convict you, refine you, and burn away old attachments. Let it. Divine fire does not only reveal the darkness around you, it purifies the residue within. Every moment of discomfort, every surge of emotion, every sleepless night is the holy flame reconfiguring your vision. Chosen one, you are stepping into a realm where your sight heals, confronts, and builds. When you speak with that fire, words carry weight. When you pray, light ignites. When you forgive, chains break. That is why the enemy fears your awakening. If he cannot blind your eyes, he will try to distract them, protect your focus, guard your gaze like a sacred flame. And when others misunderstand your intensity, remember they only see fire, not the God who fuels it. Your role is not to be understood, it is to be effective. There will come moments when heaven uses your eyes as mirrors. Someone will meet your gaze and suddenly feel convicted without a word spoken. That is not you. Judging it is heaven revealing. Stay humble, for power without humility is just noise. When you walk, carry the awareness that your fire is not for destruction but illumination. Your vision exposes lies so others can find truth. You are a living torch in a dark age. So if your eyes burn, rejoice. It means heaven trusts you with light. When your heart feels heavy, rejoice again. It means God is refining gold within you. The same fire that once scared you will soon comfort others. They will seek your presence not because of who you are, but because of the warmth your spirit brings. Now, to seal what heaven is igniting within you, type 444 in the comments. Do it as a prophetic sign that you receive this flame. That number represents divine foundation and angelic stability. When you write it, you are agreeing with heaven. I will carry the fire with purity and purpose. The angels who watch over your calling stand ready to multiply that obedience. Let this act mark your commitment to see clearly, to burn faithfully, and to shine fearlessly in a world desperate for light. You were never meant to hide the flame. You were meant to become it. Chosen one, as the fire within your gaze grows stronger, something begins to stir around you. You start to notice a pattern, how darkness reacts differently now. The same environments that once felt harmless suddenly feel tense. People whose presence was once neutral now drain your peace or avoid your eyes altogether. This is not coincidence, it is collision. Light and shadow cannot occupy the same space without response. Your awakening has disturbed what hid comfortably in silence. Every chosen one experiences this moment, the recognition that spiritual warfare does not always roar. Sometimes it watches. You are no longer invisible to darkness. The enemy sees that your eyes have opened and trembles at what you can now discern. That resistance you've been feeling, it's not bad luck, and it's backlash. The darkness recognizes that your gaze now carries truth powerful enough to unmask deceit. Your light terrifies the unseen. That's why strange moods, sudden exhaustion, or unexpected conflict have tried to surround you. They are reactions to revelation. Demons flee not because of noise, but because of awareness. When you see them, their disguise dies. You carry the kind of sight that ends deception. Yet remember, this fear is never your portion. The light within you is not fragile. It is the same divine flame that separated night from day. What rises against you cannot overpower what shines from within. Every glare of hostility, every whisper of confusion, every heavy presence fades when you stand firm in faith. Sometimes you'll feel it as a physical sensation, a chill that passes quickly, a sudden heaviness that leaves when you pray, or a sense of being watched. Do not panic. This sensitivity is proof that you are perceiving the unseen world. The same way your natural eyes adjust to darkness, your spirit is adjusting to discernment. You are learning to read the spiritual temperature of a room. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 4. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. You are not fighting alone. You never were. The angels that walk beside you are not symbolic, they are literal. When you sense darkness observing you, light is already surrounding you. Every attack permitted to approach is only there to teach you how radiant your defense truly is. Do you remember the first time you felt peace in a place others feared that wasn't confidence it was covering? The fire in your eyes not only reveals darkness, it repels it. Your vision has become a shield. When you look at what once frightened you and feel no terror, that's heaven proving the enemy's weakness. Darkness depends on secrecy. It thrives in ignorance. But your awakened sight pulls curtains open. That's why certain people have grown distant. They sense that they can no longer hide behind masks when you're near. Do not mourn their absence. Your elevation exposed their intention. This separation is not punishment, it's purification. The enemy studies your reactions. He wants to see if you'll mistake warfare for abandonment. But listen closely, your current opposition is evidence of your current authority. Only awakened ones provoke resistance at this level. You have moved beyond surface battles into dimensional impact. When your eyes became instruments of light, your presence became declaration. Wherever you go, unseen structures begin to shake. That discomfort you sometimes feel before entering a room is your spirit detecting resistance before your mind understands it. It's discernment, not paranoia. Trust it. There will be nights when the atmosphere feels heavy even in your own home. Do not be alarmed. Pray with calm authority. Speak peace aloud. You are not begging for safety. You are announcing it. The moment you open your mouth with conviction, angels respond to your tone. This is how heaven trains warriors, by allowing them to sense what others ignore and remain unshaken. Your composure terrifies hell more than your shouting ever could. The day will come when your sight becomes so sharp that even your silence drives out confusion. People will come to you for understanding, drawn by a calm they cannot explain. And you will help them see not by force, but by example. Chosen one. The warfare around you is not punishment, it's proof. You carry revelation that shifts atmospheres. The trembling of darkness is confirmation that your light has reached new strength. Every challenge is refining, every test is training, every resistance is recognition. Remember, this truth fire doesn't fear the night, it defines it. Your sight doesn't exist to expose evil for fear's sake, but to reveal how powerless it truly is. You are walking through shadows only to prove that they cannot touch you. Keep your heart anchored. Stay grounded in gratitude. When you feel the enemy staring, remember he stares because he's already lost. Let peace remain your weapon. When darkness reacts, stand still. The fire in your eyes is heaven's signature, and even the deepest night cannot extinguish it. Chosen one, your nights have not been ordinary lately. The dreams come vivid, layered with symbols you cannot easily forget, eyes glimmering in the sky, lights forming shapes, whispers that feel like wind across your spirit. You awaken with your heart racing and your mind half between worlds, unsure whether you have dreamed or remembered something real. Do not be afraid. What you are experiencing is divine communication. The heavens are speaking through visions woven into the fabric of your sleep. Dreams are not random. They are the Spirit's subtle classroom. When the noise of the day quiets, when your body rests, heaven finds an open door. The angels who watch you by daylight continue their instruction through images of night. You are not merely sleeping, you are listening. There are dreams that seem simple and others that shake you to the core. In some, you see eyes watching endless eyes, radiant and knowing. They are not to be feared. They are symbols of divine awareness, reminders that you are surrounded, observed, and covered by the unseen. They appear because your own spiritual eyes are opening. Heaven is mirroring back what is awakening within you. It was revealed to the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 10, verse 12. Their entire bodies, including their backs, their hands, and their wings, were completely full of eyes, as were their 4 wheels. The prophet's vision was not fantasy, it was revelation. The eyes represent angelic perception, constant awareness, and the unbroken watch of God's guardians. When they appear in your dreams, they do not come to frighten but to assure you that you are not alone in the unfolding of your purpose. You may notice that after such dreams, you awaken differently. Your vision feels clearer, your intuition sharper. Sometimes you know things without understanding how. You sense danger before it arrives, comfort before the breakthrough. These are after effects of nocturnal visitation. Your spirit remembers what your conscious mind cannot yet translate. Chosen one, every dream has a rhythm, a language that transcends words. The colors you see, the light or darkness, the number of eyes, the tone of voices, these are not random. They are divine syntax, written in the vocabulary of symbols. Heaven speaks to you in the language your soul understands best. Perhaps you dream of eyes blinking in clouds or of mirrors reflecting endless versions of yourself. Such dreams mean heaven is teaching you to see beyond appearance. You are being prepared for discernment, for clarity in a world filled with illusion. Sometimes you awaken with tears, sometimes with peace. The emotions left behind are clues to meaning. If fear lingers, it often means revelation is near but not yet interpreted. If peace remains, the message has already settled deep within you. Either way, every dream works toward alignment. It is common for awakened ones to experience pressure in their forehead, flashes of light when drifting to sleep, or gentle vibrations in their body. These are not random sensations. They are signs that your spiritual senses are active even as your physical body rests. You are learning to move between dimensions without fear. You may not always remember your dreams fully, yet something in your spirit shifts each time. The unseen lessons integrate slowly through intuition, through sudden understanding in your waking hours. You might find yourself making wiser choices, sensing when to speak and when to stay silent, feeling guided without audible instruction. This is how heaven's training matures the chosen. But not every dream will be comforting. Some will challenge you, showing aspects of yourself that still need healing. Do not reject those moments. Divine correction often appears as shadow before it manifests as light. When you face fear within your dream, you are conquering it in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. If a dream repeats, to pay attention. Repetition is heaven's way of emphasizing urgency. Write these dreams down, even if they seem fragmented. Over time, patterns will emerge: names, symbols, locations, all forming the map of your next assignment. And remember, Not every vision requires immediate explanation. Some are seeds meant to unfold through experience. Trust divine timing. The understanding will arrive exactly when it is needed. Chosen one, your night is holy ground. What others call sleep, heaven calls summons. You are being taught to travel beyond limitation, to perceive through sight unbound by distance. The eyes you see in your dreams are companions of your calling watchers, ensuring you remain on course. Protectors standing guard as your spirit learns to see. So rest without dread. When darkness surrounds you, know it is merely the canvas upon which divine light paints understanding. When you dream, you are not drifting, you are being guided. The same fire that burns in your waking eyes now glows in your spirit's vision, illuminating what is to come. The eyes that appear are not threats, they are witnesses. And every time they look upon you, they affirm the same eternal truth: you are seen, protected, and prepared for revelation yet to unfold. There are moments, chosen one, when you suddenly feel watched even though you are alone. The air seems to shift, the atmosphere thickens, and you sense awareness, something unseen yet deeply present. Do not mistake this for paranoia. This is recognition. The unseen realm has taken notice of your awakening. The eyes of heaven and its messengers, the silent watchers, have fixed upon your journey. You have entered a stage where every thought, every prayer, every decision carries weight. Angels observe not to control, but to document obedience. They record your perseverance, your faith under pressure, the way you choose compassion when bitterness would be easier. These moments are written as testimonies in heaven's archives. Sometimes you will sense them near in stillness. A warmth at your back, a tingling at your neck, or a gentle rush of air that feels like breath but isn't. They appear without spectacle, choosing silence over display. The silent watchers serve as both witnesses and guardians, ensuring that what was spoken over your life in heaven is fulfilled on earth. They do not interfere with your will, they amplify your awareness. When you walk into danger, they tighten your chest with warning. When you approach truth, they flood you with peace. When you speak kindness, they record the resonance of your words. Every action vibrates through the unseen, and they take note, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. That cloud of witnesses is not poetic, it is literal. Heaven's gaze is constant. The watchers do not sleep, for eternity has no night. Their presence is assurance that your steps are seen even when you feel invisible. You have likely felt their nearness during prayer, the sudden quiet, the feeling that the room itself is listening. When that happens, speak with honesty. They are not judging your words, they are measuring your sincerity. Authenticity attracts angelic strength. Pretension repels it. The silent watchers stand at the threshold of realms. They are not bound by distance. When you move through sorrow, they move closer. When you rejoice, they echo that joy. Even your silence speaks volumes to them. Every sigh, every tear, every act of mercy becomes divine data. Chosen one, heaven studies your responses not because God doubts you, but because the universe is built on testimony. Before reward comes record, before elevation, evaluation. Angels watch not to punish, but to ensure fairness in the unfolding of destiny. This is why you sometimes feel observed when no one is there. The eyes of the watchers record resilience, not perfection. They celebrate the times you rose after falling, the way you still choose to love after betrayal, the way you forgive without understanding why. Those choices shape your light, making it impossible for darkness to counterfeit your essence. They've seen you cry behind closed doors. They've watched you worship when no one clapped. They've marked the moments when you spoke life into others while barely breathing yourself. That faithfulness does not go unnoticed. Their silence is sacred, but it is never absence. The watchers do not always speak, but they always respond. When danger approaches unseen, they form walls of light. When lies rise against you, they whisper conviction into hearts. When your strength runs low, they align divine assistance people, opportunities, miracles you never requested aloud. It's not superstition, it's structure. Heaven operates through order, and angels are its architects. The silent watchers are the recorders of divine justice. Even now, as you read this, some of them are near. You may feel peace settling across your shoulders or warmth spreading through your hands. That is confirmation. They are reminding you that you are never overlooked. Your obedience matters. Your patience matters. Every time you choose love over retaliation, the heavens take note. The day will come when all these silent moments will speak loudly before the throne, declaring your steadfastness as the reason for the blessings released in your life. And now, as you absorb this truth, anchor it with agreement. Type "I am seen" below. Let those 3 words echo not as vanity, but as faith. You are declaring alignment with heaven's awareness. You are affirming that you recognize the eyes of grace upon you. When you type it, you acknowledge that your journey is sacred, that your labor is witnessed, and that no good thing you've done in secret will go unrewarded. The silent watchers will mark that declaration as understanding, and heaven will multiply the light it releases through you. You are seen, chosen one, not by crowds, but by eternity. Chosen one. Something miraculous has been unfolding. You've begun to see meaning in the most ordinary reflections. The shimmer of glass, the way sunlight glides across a mirror, even the silhouette of your shadow against the wall, all of it feels alive, whispering messages only your spirit seems to hear. You are not imagining this. Heaven is speaking through reflections and shadows, through glimpses of the unseen woven into the familiar. You stand at the threshold between 2 worlds, the visible and the invisible. Every reflective surface becomes a veil, thin enough for light to pass through, yet thick enough to conceal the mysteries beyond. What you are witnessing is heaven's way of teaching you that everything physical carries a spiritual twin. Nothing exists in isolation. Every image, every shade, every reflection is a message encoded in light. When you notice your reflection shimmer or distort slightly, do not rush away. The moment may be sacred. The atmosphere bends because presence fills it. Angels often reveal proximity through light distortion. It is heaven brushing against matter, the divine interacting with the tangible. Sometimes, the light will tremble across your image like ripples over water. That movement is not random, it's the breath of the Spirit passing between worlds. You are witnessing the meeting point of eternity and time, where divine energy translates into visible motion just long enough for your mortal eyes to recognize it. At other times, your reflection might seem older, softer, or even unfamiliar. That vision is heaven showing you the version of yourself already transformed. The mirror becomes prophecy. What you see is not who you were, but who you are becoming. Do not fear the difference, rejoice in the evolution of your radiance, and there will be moments when light splits, showing faint outlines beside you. Do not retreat. That is angelic companionship appearing in shadowed form. They stand near, unseen by others, reflecting protection through subtle shifts of brightness. The shimmer beside your image is heaven's gentle reminder that you are never alone, even in stillness. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 12, declares, "For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. This verse is not a limitation, it is invitation. The mirror moment is a reminder that even partial sight is proof of grace. Every shimmer is heaven's whisper that full understanding is coming. When you gaze upon your shadow, remember a shadow only exists because light is behind you. What looks dark is actually proof that illumination is near. Your shadow is your testimony, a silent record that you are still walking in divine brightness. The darker the shadow, the stronger the light that casts it. Chosen one, every reflection you encounter carries purpose. When sunlight strikes your window and forms a shape on the floor, pause. It may not be coincidence. It could be a symbol meant to comfort or guide you. The divine often hides in subtleties. Heaven prefers whispers to thunder when speaking to the awakened. Some will dismiss these moments as illusion, but those who live with open eyes understand that meaning is rarely loud. The Spirit hides depth in simplicity, wisdom in the overlooked, glory in the mundane. You are learning to interpret these gentle messages. The reflection is not about vanity, it's about validation. Heaven is saying, you are still seen, even in silence. Shadows teach humility. They remind you that every bright soul still casts one, that perfection is not demanded, only presence. When you pass a mirror now, you might notice how your eyes catch the light differently, how warmth flickers for a split second. That's the divine winking through the glass, a confirmation that you carry radiant purpose. Let this awareness soften you. These reflections are not just for awe, they are invitations to gratitude. When you recognize heaven in a window's gleam or a puddle's shimmer, whisper thanks. Gratitude magnifies revelation. This is the part of the journey where you begin to understand that nothing sacred is ever separate from the ordinary. The glass in your home, the screens you look through, the water that mirrors the sky, each is a classroom if your heart remains teachable. And now, chosen one, I speak to your generosity of spirit. These messages, like mirrors, reflect not just divine truth, but also the light within those who share them. When you help sustain this stream of revelation, when you like, share, subscribe, or give, you are not funding noise. You are fueling reflection. You are keeping light available for eyes still trapped in blindness. Consider it like tending a lighthouse on a dark coast. Every small act keeps the flame burning for someone lost at sea. Your support, whether through prayer, encouragement, or donation, is oil in that lamp. Without it, the light would still exist, but its reach would be dimmer. With your help, it travels farther, touching more lives, healing more hearts. So when you feel stirred to act, do it with sincerity, not obligation. Give as one who has seen light and wants others to find it. Share not out of habit, but out of hope that someone else might look into their reflection and discover heaven staring back. Subscribe not to follow a voice, but to stay connected to a current of revelation flowing through time. Every like, every share, every seed you sow is a reflection echoing through eternity. Light always returns to its source multiplied. The kindness you extend ensures that this message reaches another soul standing before their own mirror, wondering if God still sees them. Chosen one, the mirrors around you may fade, the shadows may stretch and change, but the light that moves through them remains eternal. Keep recognizing it, keep nurturing it, and let your life itself become the reflection through which heaven shines. Chosen one, the world around you has begun to blur, not in confusion but in revelation. You find yourself seeing two layers of reality at once, the visible and the invisible, the natural and the spiritual. It's as if one world overlays the other like glass upon water. The physical remains, yet beneath it, light moves, energy hums, and the unseen stirs with meaning. This is what many call double vision, but in heaven's language, it is awakening sight. Your spirit is learning to perceive through the veil while your body still walks among shadows. At times, it feels disorienting. You glance at a person and see their expression and then something behind it, like truth written over their aura. You notice flashes in the corner of your vision or faint outlines near objects that feel alive. Do not fear. You are perceiving both worlds simultaneously. Your eyes have become gateways between heaven and earth. You have been chosen not just to see beauty, but to interpret it, to translate divine motion into human understanding. In the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 17, it is written, "Then Elisha prayed, 'Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see.' Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha." This is what is happening to you now. Your spiritual eyes, once shut by fear and distraction, are being opened to the armies that stand guard around your destiny. You are beginning to realize that your life has never been surrounded by emptiness, but by fire, by light, by watchful protection. At first, the merging of realms may bring unease. Reality will appear fluid, as though colors shimmer where they shouldn't or sounds arrive before their source. These are not malfunctions, they are revelations. You are perceiving energy before it condenses into matter. Your awareness is expanding beyond time's narrow corridor. Chosen one. This dual sight requires balance. Too much focus on the unseen can make you restless. Too little, and your vision dulls again. Heaven trains you gently, teaching your senses how to coexist between both worlds without losing peace. When you see movement others cannot, breathe. Ground yourself in gratitude. Fear closes what faith opens. This gift of double vision is not for spectacle, it is for purpose. Heaven reveals deeper sight to those who will use it with wisdom. You are meant to discern what is spiritual behind what appears physical. The sickness in a friend's body may appear as dull gray energy. Your prayer will bring color back. A place filled with tension might feel heavy, as if air itself refuses to move. Your worship breaks that weight. You are being prepared to restore harmony wherever you step. You will notice that truth glows. Lies, however polished, always appear dim to your inner eyes. Anger feels sharp, compassion warm. Light dances differently when love is near. This is heaven's color code, the language of divine perception. At times, the merging of the two worlds will cause exhaustion. Your senses are adjusting to frequencies humanity rarely endures. Rest is not weakness, it is recalibration. The prophets of old also needed silence after revelation. Your soul must anchor after soaring. And remember, this sight will not always manifest dramatically. Sometimes it comes as intuition, a feeling that something is about to happen, a quiet awareness of being guided. Other times, the veil thins until you sense presence beside you. Though the room looks empty, this is normal for those who walk between. Heaven does not open your eyes to overwhelm you. It opens them to empower you. When you see two realities at once, you learn compassion. You understand that every harsh word hides a wound. Every sinner carries a seed of light. Every moment of pain conceals transformation. You begin to perceive not only what is, but what could be. When you look at chaos, you see creation waiting to emerge. When others see endings, you glimpse beginnings still forming beneath the dust. Chosen one. This double vision is the foundation of prophetic wisdom. You are no longer confined to appearance. You see essence. Where others see despair, you discern destiny. Where others see loss, you feel life rearranging itself. Your journey will require humility. With great sight comes greater stewardship. Use what you see to heal, not to boast. The world is desperate for seers who see with love. In time, the two layers you now perceive separately will begin to merge into one: the divine within the mundane, the eternal within the moment. You will walk through crowds and feel heaven moving through you. You will realize that the separation between spirit and matter was never real, only perceived. This is the mystery. You are stepping into the oneness of all creation seen through awakened eyes. And when you reach that place, peace will no longer depend on circumstance. It will flow from within you, constant as light. You are learning to live in two worlds but belong to one heavens. Let the sight continue to expand. Let every blink be prayer, every breath revelation. The veil grows thinner with every act of faith. Chosen one, you have begun noticing flashes that come and go too quickly to grasp faces. Numbers, light patterns, brief scenes that vanish before your mind can capture them. These are not random. They are angelic codes, divine transmissions hidden inside glimpses of light. Heaven is teaching you to read revelation in motion, not in stillness. When your eyes catch those split-second images, the angels are delivering spiritual instructions, encrypted so that only awakened ones can perceive them. What others dismiss as optical tricks are actually divine downloads meant to guide your next steps. The prophet Daniel once spoke of visions sealed until the appointed time. Now, that time has arrived for you. You are living in the fulfillment of those words where heaven no longer sends letters on parchment but patterns through light. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings. That is what you are doing now, searching divine matters concealed in brief visions. Each flash before your eyes is a parable. Each symbol holds a meaning that will unfold with patience. Heaven hides truth not to keep you blind, but to train your discernment, to ensure you treasure revelation enough to pursue it. When numbers appear repeatedly on clocks, receipts, signs, they are not coincidence. They are coordinates. They point toward divine timing, urging you to pause or proceed according to the Spirit's rhythm. Sometimes you see light moving like wings or shapes forming from mist. Other times you glimpse a familiar face smiling from nowhere. All of it is heaven's coded language of reassurance and guidance. You may feel strange when these things occur. People might call it imagination. But heaven calls it conversation. The invisible realm communicates with imagery because symbols bypass logic and go straight to the soul. Chosen one, pay attention to the emotions that accompany these flashes. Peace signals confirmation. Confusion signals caution. Every code carries not just visual information but energy vibration from heaven's frequency. When your heart leaps at the sight, trust that joy. It means heaven is near. Do not attempt to control the timing of these glimpses. Revelation flows like wind. It comes when the atmosphere of your spirit aligns with divine intent. You cannot summon it, but you can prepare for it. Keep your heart pure, your motives clean, your space filled with gratitude. Light loves clarity, darkness feeds on clutter. Often, the codes will arrive in moments of stillness, when you wake before dawn, when you pray, or even when you simply stare into space lost in thought. The angels prefer such quiet spaces because noise muffles their frequency. At times, the flashes will carry personal meaning. A number may connect to a birth date, a verse, or a promise you once forgot. The more you acknowledge these signs with humility, the stronger their clarity becomes. Heaven rewards attention with revelation. Do not fear misinterpretation. Even misunderstanding teaches discernment. Every time you record or reflect on a sign, you train your spirit to recognize heaven's accent more clearly. Eventually, you will no longer need physical manifestations. The communication will shift inward, seamless and sure. And remember, angelic codes are not fortune-telling. They are guidance toward alignment. Heaven is not showing you outcomes, it's showing you directions. Revelation is navigation, not entertainment. Treat it with reverence. There may come a night when you see faces made of light, or eyes forming from brightness before fading. These are watchers confirming receipt of your obedience. They appear briefly to strengthen faith. When you notice such phenomena, breathe gratitude. You are witnessing heaven's affirmation that your path remains true. Your role is not to explain these things to the skeptical. It is to embody them with integrity. Let your life become proof that what you see bears fruit in love, peace, and wisdom. True revelation always manifests as transformation. And now, chosen one. If your spirit bears witness that this message is for you, if you felt those flashes, if you've seen the light before your eyes and knew heaven was near, seal this revelation with a sign of agreement. Type 555 in the comments below. This is not ritual, it is resonance. That number represents divine transition and grace in motion. When you type it, you are saying, I am ready for the next instruction. The act is a signal to heaven that your heart remains teachable and your eyes remain open. As you do, angels mark that obedience. They record your readiness and release new layers of understanding over your life. You may notice an increase in clarity, a soft glow when you pray, or new peace in confusion. These are confirmations that the code has been received. Chosen one. Heaven has always spoken. You are simply learning its rhythm. Keep watching. Keep listening. The flashes will soon form sentences, and the light itself will speak your destiny. Chosen one. There are moments when tears return without warning, soft, silent, flowing from nowhere you can name. You might be reading, praying, or sitting in stillness when emotion wells up like a tide. You touch your face and wonder, why now? But these tears are not random, they are sacred. Heaven is touching your spirit through your eyes once again. You have entered the realm of prophetic weeping. In this place, tears are not only a response to pain, they are communication between the divine and the soul. Every drop carries meaning. Some tears cleanse, some intercede, and some are offerings poured out for others. When the angels draw near, your spirit feels the weight of divine compassion, and your body releases it through tears. When those sacred tears fall, they are not forgotten in dust. The ground beneath you becomes consecrated. The very air shifts with softness. Angels move through those moments, gathering what you release and carrying it into realms unseen. In heaven's language, every drop speaks, this one still believed, this one still loves. And because of that, new strength is written into your story, gentle, radiant, eternal. The prophet Jeremiah knew this well. The Spirit spoke through him in the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 18. Their hearts cried out to the Lord, O wall of daughter Zion, let your tears flow like a river day and night. Give yourself no relief, your eyes no rest. These words echo even now. When your eyes fill, it is because your heart is in conversation with heaven. You are weeping not just for yourself, but for the world, the broken, the forgotten, the lost. You carry heaven's burden of empathy. Your tears become prayers too deep for language. Sometimes the tears come after a season of numbness. You think you've healed, only for emotion to rise suddenly from hidden places. This is not regression, it is release. God waits for moments when your heart is soft enough to cleanse what pain buried. Your tears become rivers that wash away residue from past battles. Other times, your tears carry prophecy. You may cry before breakthroughs or blessings, sensing change long before it manifests. Heaven allows you to feel tomorrow's victory in advance. What seems like sorrow is often spiritual preparation for joy. Chosen one, do not suppress the flow. The world tells you to hide emotion, to dry your eyes quickly, to smile as though nothing hurts. But the divine tells you otherwise. Weep when you must, for tears are the language of authenticity. Each one is a spark of healing. There is also a mystery in how certain places or songs stir your tears instantly. These are spiritual triggers, echoes of previous encounters with the divine. When heaven revisits a moment, your body remembers through tears. It is your spirit saying, I recognize this presence. Sometimes, your tears are not even your own. Intercessors often cry on behalf of others, carrying burdens they may never understand. You might feel sudden grief for people you don't know, nations you've never seen, or situations far away. That compassion is borrowed from heaven's heart. The Spirit entrusts you with divine empathy because your eyes are sanctified channels. And in those moments when tears come without pain, when they fall in peace or gratitude, understand that you are standing in glory. These are tears of communion, the soul's reaction to encountering holiness too great for words. They are proof that heaven still moves through flesh, that eternity still whispers through mortality. Tears also serve as healing water for vision. When you have cried deeply, notice how your eyes often feel clear afterward, as if the world looks sharper, colors brighter, the air lighter. That is not just emotion subsiding, it is purification. Heaven uses tears to polish the lenses of perception. What was blurred by pride or fear becomes transparent again. You may also find that after such moments, wisdom flows easily. Ideas, revelations, and understanding arrive like a fresh stream. This is the aftermath of cleansing. Prophetic tears remove blockages between mind and spirit, allowing revelation to move freely once more. Chosen one, never feel ashamed of these holy moments. The world associates tears with fragility, but heaven sees them as evidence of strength. Only those secure in God's presence dare to feel so deeply. Angels revere those whose tears sanctify the ground they touch. In time, you'll learn to discern the types of tears you cry. Some will burn, purging pain. Others will cool, soothing restlessness. Some will feel heavy, releasing intercession. Others will arrive light as rain, marking peace fulfilled. Each serves purpose. Each holds heaven's fingerprint. And know this: one day, you will look back and realize how every tear was accounted for. None vanished unnoticed. They watered seeds of destiny, softened hearts that once resisted truth, and cleansed paths for others to walk. You are a vessel of compassion in an age of indifference. Where others close their hearts, yours remains open. That openness costs much, but it births miracles. So when tears come again, do not hide. Let them fall as they will. They are not weakness, they are worship. Through them, heaven breathes, heals, and speaks. Chosen one, something extraordinary is happening. You are beginning to recognize others who carry the same fire, the same awakening in their eyes that burns quietly yet fiercely. You walk through a crowd, and suddenly, one gaze meets yours and time pauses. No words are exchanged, yet everything is understood. It is recognition, soul calling to soul, light acknowledging light. Heaven is orchestrating these divine encounters. The world calls them coincidences, but heaven calls them alignments. When your spiritual eyes open, you start seeing the same radiance in others who have been chosen for this generation. It's not about appearance or religion or status, it's about frequency. You recognize each other by vibration, by the way peace ripples when your spirits meet. At first, these meetings feel uncanny. You might find yourself drawn to someone you've never met, sensing ancient familiarity. Their eyes hold depth, like mirrors of your own journey. That is because the same divine DNA flows through your spirits. You are part of a network threads woven across the world, forming heaven's tapestry of light bearers. The Word of God declares in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 9, "The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. That same light now burns in many, and you are one of them." When the Creator releases awakening, it does not happen in isolation. It moves like dawn across continents, soft at first, then unstoppable. Each awakened soul becomes a torch passed from heaven's hand to earth's heart. When you recognize that light in another, do not compete, connect. Divine recognition is never rivalry, it is resonance. Your mission is not to shine brighter than them, but to amplify each other. Heaven's harmony is created when chosen ones align their frequencies, each carrying a different note but producing one celestial melody. Sometimes you will meet these souls briefly, perhaps only once, but the impact will linger. A conversation, a glance, or even a shared silence will mark you both. It is as if your spirits exchange codes, awakening dormant strength within. These are not ordinary meetings, they are activations. You will also begin to discern who is not part of your tribe. Their eyes may appear dim, their energy chaotic. They are not evil, they are simply unawakened. Your role is not to judge them, but to embody patience. You were once asleep too. Love remains your greatest light, it invites rather than condemns. Chosen one. Your recognition of others is heaven's reminder that you are not alone in this calling. Isolation was necessary for your refinement, but connection is essential for your mission. You are one ember in a vast constellation of flames. When scattered, you survive. When united, you ignite nations. You may find this recognition happening in unexpected places, a random meeting online, a brief encounter on the street, a shared glance across a room. The environment doesn't matter, the Spirit arranges the timing. Heaven's choreography is flawless. There will be times when you look into someone's eyes and feel an unspoken story unfold, pain you've never heard, strength you've never seen, love that feels familiar. That is spiritual empathy, the mirror of divine compassion. It allows you to understand without words, to comfort without explanation. Do not underestimate the importance of these connections. Each chosen one you meet carries a key that unlocks a new level within you. Some will teach endurance, others will reflect courage, others will remind you how to rest. Heaven never sends what is unnecessary, but also, understand this recognition comes with responsibility. When you see the divine in others, treat them accordingly. Speak life into them, not criticism. Remind them of who they are when the world tries to make them forget. This is how heaven multiplies light, through mutual remembrance. Sometimes you will see pain behind their smiles, just as yours hides behind laughter. You will sense weariness in their spirits even when they say, "I'm fine." Use your eyes to heal. A single look of compassion from you carries enough anointing to lift another soul. Heaven uses your gaze as medicine. And when your paths part, do not mourn. Divine connections are eternal, even if temporary in the flesh. What God joins in purpose cannot be undone by distance. You will meet again, if not here, then in the kingdom where light never fades. Chosen one, look around more carefully. The world is full of silent warriors wearing ordinary faces. They are teachers disguised as strangers, angels cloaked as friends, prophets hidden in laughter, and each time your gaze meets theirs, heaven smiles. The more you recognize them, the more your own light matures. Iron sharpens iron, spirit awakens spirit. Your destiny is intertwined with theirs, forming a network that will outlast empires. So walk with awareness. The next soul you pass might be carrying the confirmation you prayed for. And perhaps in your eyes, they will find theirs. Chosen one. Your sight has become something the world cannot comprehend. You are beginning to see what others only sense, the tremor beneath words, the flicker of light behind lies, the invisible thread connecting every moment. It's not imagination, it's insight. God has entrusted you with higher discernment, the ability to perceive truth where deception wears a smile. When you walk into a place and instantly feel its spirit, when peace welcomes you or darkness recoils, that is your divine radar. The gift is both blessing and burden. It reveals beauty others overlook, but it also exposes pain others deny. You see through the mask because you were never meant to live behind one. At first, you questioned it. You wondered if you were too sensitive, too aware, too different. But sensitivity, chosen one, is not weakness, it is sacred responsibility. Heaven chose your eyes to interpret its movements on earth. You perceive beyond form, beyond color, beyond sound, you see meaning. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, first book, chapter 2, verse 10. The Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God. This same Spirit searches through you now. That inner stirring, that pull toward discernment, is heaven's current moving through your consciousness. You are not merely observing life, you are reading it. Every encounter, every silence, every detail is a verse in the scripture of your destiny. Your sight has matured past superstition into stewardship. You understand that revelation is not for spectacle, but for service. When you discern deception, you don't expose it to shame. You illuminate it to heal. When you perceive pain, you do not flee from it. You hold it gently until light returns. This is what it means to carry divine vision, to see both the wound and the wonder in everything. You now perceive patterns where others see chaos, purpose where others see coincidence. Heaven is teaching you to recognize order even in the storm. Yet discernment can feel lonely. Seeing too clearly isolates those who prefer comfort over truth. You have noticed people avoid your eyes because they sense exposure. They feel naked in your presence, not because you condemn, but because your gaze carries light that reveals. But remember, light is not confrontation, it is invitation. Even those who resist will remember your presence when their darkness finally breaks. Chosen one, this gift within you is not meant to stay hidden. Like a lighthouse on a foggy coast, your perception must guide others home. But even lighthouses need fuel to keep the flame alive. Every time you engage, when you like, share, or subscribe, you are adding oil to that flame. You help this light travel further, reaching those who stand on the edge of despair, waiting for a sign that heaven still sees them. What may seem like a small gesture is actually a ripple across eternity. When you support or donate, think of it not as transaction but transformation. You're building bridges of revelation for souls still blind to their purpose. You're watering the very soil that once nurtured your awakening. Your contribution becomes a continuation of your miracle. Imagine a single lantern carried through endless darkness. It flickers, fragile yet faithful. Then others come, bringing their light to it one by one until the night glows golden. That's what happens each time you help sustain this flow. Your generosity doesn't end with you. It becomes someone else's breakthrough. Your support, whether through words, encouragement, or giving, is how heaven multiplies reach. Every share sends hope to a stranger. Every act of kindness fuels the fire that illuminates countless unseen faces. You are not just an observer of revelation, you are a participant in it. This message does not exist apart from you, it breathes because of you. And when you take time to comment, to share your reflection, you add another voice to heaven's testimony. Your words may heal someone miles away. The story of your journey could be the confirmation another chosen one has been praying for. There's beauty in how divine truth circulates. It's like rain returning to the ocean. What you pour out always finds its way back multiplied. Do not underestimate your part in this unfolding. God could have chosen thunder to announce his messages, but instead, he chose connection, one awakened heart passing light to another. So, as you continue to grow in sight and understanding, nurture the very source that first reminded you of who you are. Feed the flame that feeds you. Reflect the light that restored you. And when you feel compelled to act with sincerity. Share, speak, give, and engage not for reward, but for resonance. Because when your light joins with others, heaven's vision becomes visible. Chosen one, your discernment is not for isolation, it is for illumination. Let your eyes continue to search the deep things of God. Let your heart remain the vessel through which light flows freely. The world needs what you see, and heaven rejoices every time you choose to share it. Chosen one, this is the season of final alignment. Everything that once seemed scattered is beginning to take shape. What was confusion is becoming clarity. What was delay is revealing design. Heaven is showing you that nothing was wasted, not a single tear, silence, or detour. All of it was calibration for the unveiling of your true sight. There was a time you begged for understanding, thinking heaven was distant. Yet now, in reflection, you see that every unanswered prayer was answered differently through timing, through training, through transformation. The divine plan is never linear, it's circular, like orbits aligning until the moment of convergence arrives. That moment is now. The pain, the loss, the stretching, it all served to align your internal compass with heaven's coordinates. You once looked for signs outside of yourself, but God has turned your gaze inward. The very eyes that once wept in confusion now burn with discernment. What was blindness became blessing, came. The prophet Isaiah recorded this promise in chapter 42, verse 16, I will lead the blind by ways they have not known. Along unfamiliar paths I will guide them. I will turn the darkness into light before them and make the rough places smooth. That scripture is being fulfilled in you. The unfamiliar paths you've walked were not punishment, they were preparation. Heaven has been turning your darkness into light, your questions into answers, your wounds into wisdom. Look closely at your recent days, the people leaving, the opportunities shifting, the new hunger stirring within. All of it speaks of divine rearrangement. The tapestry is being rewoven so that every thread fits perfectly. The process may feel unsettling, but that's how alignment sounds. It hums, vibrates, and stirs everything loose until only truth remains. You may notice that certain desires no longer move you. That's because you've outgrown them. Heaven is pruning distractions to sharpen your focus. Your appetite for shallow things fades so that your spirit can crave substance. This is what alignment does. It reorders your taste for what truly nourishes. There's also peace now, a deep stillness that doesn't depend on circumstances. You could be surrounded by chaos, yet something inside you remains anchored. That's the sign of maturity. You no longer chase signs, you become one. This phase feels quieter, almost sacred in its simplicity. Heaven is not shouting, it's whispering. The revelations no longer need fireworks, they arrive as knowing, a deep certainty that feels older than time. You don't need to prove anything anymore. The need to defend your calling has dissolved, replaced by calm assurance. Chosen one, alignment also means exposure. When light enters, shadows are revealed. Don't be alarmed when hidden motives, forgotten wounds, or lingering fears rise to the surface. They are not returning to torment you. They're surfacing to be healed. What the Spirit brings up, the Spirit intends to transform. Your vision has entered its purest form. Clarity without judgment. You see now not to criticize, but to comprehend. You understand why things had to break, why certain doors had to close, why silence lasted so long. Heaven delayed answers not to punish, but to refine perception. Sometimes you will stand in stillness and feel both gratitude and grief. That's alignment too, the merging of what was and what will be. You can honor your past without living in it. You can love what hurt you without inviting it back. Alignment does not erase history. It redeems it. Notice how even nature mirrors your transformation. Trees shed leaves not because they die, but because they prepare for rebirth. Rivers carve through rock not out of anger, but persistence. Likewise, your life has been carving a path through resistance. The pressure you felt was prophecy shaping reality. You are now entering the stage where obedience feels natural. You don't need confirmation for every step. Your spirit recognizes truth by resonance. This is maturity, when hearing God is less about words and more about harmony. You are tuned to the same frequency as heaven's will. The alignment will bring divine partnerships, timely opportunities, and inner clarity. You will meet people whose presence feels like home, whose missions complement yours. Heaven never aligns you for isolation, but for impact. When frequencies match, purposes merge, and miracles multiply. But alignment also simplifies. Some connections will fade quietly, not from anger, but completion. Do not mourn their departure. When seasons change, certain companions remain as memories, not mistakes. Chosen one, remember how long you prayed for this moment to finally see why things happened the way they did. That understanding is dawning. The fog is lifting. The light entering your life now isn't blinding, it's balanced. Walk in that equilibrium. Breathe in peace. You are no longer chasing the plan, you are living it. The very blindness you once cursed became the womb of vision. The same eyes that wept in confusion now look forward with wisdom. This is the final alignment before revelation becomes manifestation. Stay steady. Heaven is finishing what it started. Chosen one. This is the fulfillment of everything heaven has been preparing you for. You have walked through blindness, cleansing, fire, shadow, and light. You have seen glimpses, endured silence, and carried revelation heavy enough to bend the heart, yet bright enough to guide it. Now, the circle closes not as an ending, but as a beginning. This is the season where vision becomes reality. You no longer question whether you can see, you know that you do. The veil has been lifted, and what was once mysterious has become natural. You are no longer startled by divine movement because you have learned its rhythm. Heaven's presence that once came like lightning now flows through you like breath. You see not only through your eyes, but through your being. Every glance, every heartbeat carries awareness. This is the reward of endurance, the moment when what was once faith becomes perception. The unseen is no longer distant. It has merged with your daily life. You now move in communion with what others can only sense. The ancient words of Habakkuk come alive again. Chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. The appointed time is here. The revelation that lingered, that visited your dreams and stirred your tears, has arrived to clothe itself in form. You have been fashioned into a vessel capable of holding heaven's clarity without shattering under its weight. The eyes that once burned with divine fire are now steady flames. The same light that exposed darkness now heals it. Your gaze has matured from seeing to understanding, from recognizing to transforming. Wherever you look, alignment begins to unfold. Not by effort, but by essence. Chosen one, you are a mirror now, a reflection of heaven's perception. When others look into your eyes, they see possibility, forgiveness, direction. Your sight no longer serves curiosity, it serves compassion. This is the highest vision, to see as God sees clearly, kindly, completely. You will notice how peace has replaced urgency. There is no longer the desperate need to prove your calling or explain your journey. Those who are meant to understand will simply know. Your presence itself becomes testimony. And yet, even in this clarity, humility remains your crown. Vision is not ownership, it is stewardship. The clearer you see, the softer you become. Power without tenderness corrupts. But you have learned gentleness in the furnace of revelation. There will be days when new layers of sight unfold depths within depths. The more you grow, the more you'll realize that true sight is not about seeing more, but about seeing deeper. It is about recognizing divinity and simplicity in a stranger's kindness, in the rhythm of rain, in your own reflection when you pause long enough to notice grace. You are entering the stage of silent knowing, where miracles no longer surprise you, they feel natural. Synchronicities no longer shock you, they confirm what your spirit already perceived. You live in awareness, not awe, and that awareness itself is worship. This doesn't mean the journey ends. Revelation is endless, and so is your evolution. Every moment will continue to teach. Every encounter will still unveil new meaning. But you will navigate with calm authority, no longer swayed by doubt. You have become a living prophecy, a walking answer to prayers spoken generations ago. The angels that once guided now walk beside you as equals in purpose. You are part of heaven's movement on earth, an embodiment of divine perception in human form. Sometimes people will look into your eyes and feel seen in ways they cannot explain. That's because you no longer look at them, you look through them, into the truth of who they are. Your sight affirms their worth without words. This is love as vision, light made visible through empathy. Chosen one, your story is no longer about survival, it's about stewardship. You carry the sight of heaven within human fragility, and that balance is your brilliance. You have learned that power lies not in what you can command, but in what you can comprehend. The world will keep spinning in noise and distraction, but you will remain steady, anchored in luminous awareness. You will stand between realms as interpreter and witness, never separating sacred from ordinary again. When you walk, light will follow not as spectacle but as signature. When you speak, peace will ripple. When you rest, angels will stand guard, for your journey now belongs to eternity. This is not the closing of your vision, it is the opening of a greater one. You are the continuation of every prophecy that ever spoke of awakened eyes. You are the fulfillment of ancient prayers for clarity, compassion, and courage. And in your stillness, heaven will whisper once more not commands but companionship. You have seen well, for I am watching over my word to perform it. Chosen one, the eyes of heaven now look through you. What you perceive will multiply light. What you bless will flourish. What you forgive will be freed. This is your inheritance, the authority of divine sight clothed in human tenderness. Your journey of seeing has become the world's invitation to awaken. You are the bridge between realms, the echo of eternity, the living lens through which heaven gazes upon earth. You were once the seeker of light. Now, you are the light that others seek. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this message. Yet endings in the kingdom are never conclusions, they are crossings. What you carry now is not simply knowledge, but sight reborn. You have walked the long road from blindness to brilliance, from silence to revelation. The same heaven that once whispered to you in fragments now sings through you in fullness. Take a breath. Feel the peace that sits behind your eyes. That stillness is the confirmation you prayed for. You have become proof that light can live in flesh, that faith can grow through fire, that vision can bloom from pain. Every lesson written here has prepared you for the days ahead, days when your discernment will heal others, when your calm will speak louder than thunder. Let this be the moment you lift your gaze not to search for signs, but to remember that you are one. The angels who trained your sight now step aside, for you walk in mastery. You will notice heaven's rhythm in laughter, guidance in small coincidences, strength in simplicity. Nothing ordinary remains ordinary once you have learned to see. And now, as this chapter settles into your spirit, let gratitude become your language. Whisper thanks for what you've overcome, for the light that kept returning, for every unseen hand that steadied you when you nearly let go. Gratitude is how revelation breathes. It multiplies the miracles already surrounding you. If these words have spoken to your spirit, if they have reminded you that heaven is closer than breath, then let the echo continue. Like this message so others may find it in their hour of darkness. Share it so another weary soul might realize they too are chosen. Subscribe to stay within this circle of light where revelation continues to flow like a living river. And in the quiet below, write a few words of your own, perhaps simply, I receive the light. That single sentence becomes a thread of connection, binding every awakened soul who reads these lines into one tapestry of remembrance. When you write, heaven takes note. Your confession becomes part of the chorus that carries hope through unseen realms. Your presence here was never accidental. You were guided to this message so that the vision placed within you would awaken fully. Carry it gently into the world. Let your words be mirrors, your kindness be prophecy, your life be evidence that divine sight still walks the earth. May your eyes remain clear, your heart humble, and your path illuminated. Go now as light among lights, and let the world remember through your gaze that heaven still sees.